movie kicks off sometime after the UK got overtaken by monkey rabies, which sadly wiped out most of the population. A few lucky idiots managed to escape the big cities and found shelter in rural Scotland. Among them is Jimmy. Pay attention to this guy because he's gonna play a big role in the fourth movie. One morning, Jimmy gets invited to a tea party by his cousins, which also involves the soul-crushing task of watching Teletubbies. I don't know about you, but I'd rather get bitten by the infected than sit through that show, cause that's real pain. Just as things are getting excruciating, the adults' fun is interrupted by a full-on monkey rage attack as it becomes clear that a horde of infected has breached the perimeter. Jimmy's mom tells him to stay quiet and not leave the room, which is probably the worst advice ever. At this point, the village should have had an escape plan in place in case of an outbreak. They could have dug a tunnel under the house or even had a cellar with a trap door. That way, the kids could survive and help keep the species going. And seriously, look at this garbage of a village. Where are the walls, fences, trenches, or anything that could protect them? That overgrowth around the place is a huge disadvantage. It's gonna keep the humans from seeing the infected coming. Since everyone here is a moron, Jimmy thinks it's a good idea to walk up to the door and call for his dad.
Dad?
I don't think that's Daddy. 3 infected burst through the door and feast on Jimmy's 7 cousins, marking the beginning of our count of teenage corpses. Since Jimmy's behind the door and hasn't been spotted, he makes a run for it, but not before seeing his mom get bitten and turned. Quick side note, only people who get fully finished off or infected will count in our body count. Anyone who transforms and doesn't die doesn't make the cut. Anyway, Jimmy runs to the village church and asks the priest for help, who doesn't seem too worried about the invasion as he's casually praying like it's just another Tuesday. Jimmy calls him Dad, which implies this dude wasn't always a priest, or maybe he was. Things are kind of foggy here. Jimmy's dad tells him to chill since it's Judgment Day. He hands him a crucifix and tells him to hide under the church. Doesn't take long before the infected break into the church and turn Jimmy's dad, who seems to really enjoy getting bitten by strangers. The priest and the rest of the rabid gang leave the building, and Jimmy takes the chance to bolt through the woods. If you want to watch the full video, click on the link below.